The Supreme Court overruled its 1973 Roe v. Wade ruling, and abortion is now the hot debate in our country yet again. So I want to talk to you about a few of the lies that I've been seeing perpetuated that are just flat out false and being used as fear-mongering, scare tactics from the pro-abortionist side of the argument. First and foremost, I want to say that if you have had an abortion or you have been on the pro-abortion side of this argument, that this video is not to condemn you or judge you or put you down in any way. The narrative surrounding abortion is fierce and it is really convincing, especially if you don't have all the truths and you're scared. And so I just want to encourage those of you who are on the pro-life side, the anti-abortion side, to remember to be soft and compassionate to the people that you're having these discussions with and really just lead with love. Before we jump into the debate about abortion, we actually have to come to an agreement on where you think life begins. Outside of that, we're really not going to get anywhere with this kind of discussion. We have to have it as a fundamental talking point. So where do you think life begins? Science has shown us that life begins at conception, when the zygote forms its own unique DNA structure, and uninterrupted, that would become a fully mature human being. Some people will draw the line at viability, but my issue with this is that even with medical advancements, we can keep a baby alive outside of the womb earlier and earlier. A newborn baby can't survive without help, so with that logic, do we just get to kill a newborn baby? What about elderly people who need support to survive? Do we just get to kill those people off because they've become a burden or can't survive on their own? For the sake of clarity, I want to state that I believe life begins at conception, and it's from that stance that I make my arguments. One thing I've been seeing is the video from President Joe Biden talking about his condemnation of the decision by the Supreme Court, and he brings up a few of these topics that are absolute falsehoods, and I want to discuss and break them down. Take a look.
State laws banning abortion are automatically taking effect today, jeopardizing the health of millions of women, some without exceptions. So extreme that women could be punished for protecting their health. So extreme that women and girls were forced to bear their rapist's child. It just stuns me. So extreme that doctors will be criminalized for fulfilling their duty to care. Imagine having a young woman have to carry the child of incest as a consequence of incest. No option.
The first point that he brings up is that this decision jeopardizes the health of women and puts a lot of them at risk. In my point of view, even if abortion is safer than pregnancy, that doesn't make it right. With modern medicine, the risk of death during pregnancy is actually very low. We see these kind of easy, scary talking points about the risk of the mother and ectopic pregnancies and not being able to save the woman's life, but that is completely false. There are medical provisions for these issues and these cases specifically, and the reason why marketing and the pro-abortion narrative can kind of run away with this is because they actually do code some of these instances as abortions. Point number 2 that he brings up is that if abortion were outlawed, women are just going to get unlawful, risky abortions. Just because people break laws doesn't mean that we should not make those laws. I believe that education is the best alternative. Women need to know the risk that they're taking if they do decide to get an illegal abortion. And really, we need to empower women with the knowledge of how to use birth control effectively, how to take responsibility for their own bodies and use celibacy. There are people who are ready and willing to help, like crisis pregnancy centers around the country. It's really important that we actually teach women that these resources are available to them. Point number 3 is that the woman who gets an abortion is now going to be criminalized or punished somehow. This is a flat out falsehood, and it's just being used as a scare tactic. It's not the woman who will be punished, but yes, doctors who are performing abortions in states where it has been outlawed will be criminalized. The next point is one of the biggest talking points that gets brought up in this discussion, which is, what about rape? What about incest? As horrible and tragic as the situation is, what we know is that it's less than 0.5% of women who become pregnant as a result of rape or incest. This preborn baby shouldn't be killed because of the evil deeds of another. The women in these situations need the utmost love and support, and what we need to do is actually prosecute to the fullest extent of the law the rapist who committed this horrendous act. Another truly evil talking point in this narrative is that it would be more merciful to end the life of an abnormal fetus or one with physical disabilities. Check out this video that's been circulating around.
And because I have a family with a lot of special needs kids, I have a brother who's 57 and has the mental and motor skills of a 1-year-old. And I know what that means financially, emotionally, physically for a family. And I know not all families can do it. And I have a step-granddaughter who was born with Down syndrome.
It's wrong and evil to kill disabled people for the sake of their disabilities. In the case of the small minority of fetuses that are life-threatening or have a disability, number one, the body will oftentimes naturally abort or terminate that pregnancy. In the case of those lives coming to full term, should we not value people with disabilities to the same worth as somebody who is fully able? The last point, and a chant that we hear over and over right now, is my body, my choice. Well, when we're talking about life beginning at conception, we're not just talking about your body anymore. It's the body of a preborn child that we are protecting. Abortion has been absolutely horrific for our society and our culture, and what we really need is a renewal of the value of life. It's not enough for those of us who believe in life to just sit on the sidelines anymore. I want to encourage you to use your voice, stand up, speak out. Thanks for watching. I really hope this video helped you and gave you some tools for your tool belt. Like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you in the next video.